Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Continuing the series of the products which I have tried this year. Today we are going to cover blushes and I'm going to let you guys know which are the single blushes I have tried this year and what are my thoughts on them. So if you guys are interested to find out, then please continue watching. Okay, so let's get started. I have all of the blushes in front of me and I counted them. There are around 7 formulas which I've tried this year. This doesn't include the blush palettes which I've tried. For that I will do a separate video. So I'm going to show you swatches of all of the blushes and I'll just let you guys know my thoughts on them. So let's start off with the drugstore ones which I've tried this year. So I tried 2 drugstore or more affordable category blushes. Those are from the Nykaa brand and from Australis. First, let's talk about the Nykaa brand. I really love this blush duo. This is called the Nykaa Get Cheeky Blush Duo. It's in the shade Brazilian Bombshell 01. This is how the blush duo looks like and this is what I have on my cheeks today. And I absolutely love the formula of this blush duo. They're nicely pigmented, blends really well. I think for all of the blushes, I'm going to say the same thing. They are not overly pigmented, but they blend really well. So we are just mainly going to focus on the color. If you're close to my skin tone, this is a really good blush palette or a duo. There is a pink blush which I actually don't really use that much, but I love this color which is right here. So this is more of a corally, mauvey, peachy kind of a blush with a hint of pink, and I think it looks really beautiful. The next one is this one from Australis Cosmetics, which is pretty new. I've got it recently, but I am just absolutely loving this blush. This is how it looks like. If I have to compare the previous one, this is how the Nykaa one looks like and this is how the Australis one looks like. You can see there is a lot of difference between both of the blushes, and that's something I'm very happy about in all of the blushes which I've tried, that none of them are very similar to each other. Here in the Australis one, you can see it's a little bit more corally, more peachy and a little bit more brighter, whereas this is a little bit subtle. So this is the Australis blush. I don't think I told you the shade name. It's in the shade Berry Jelly. So this is a strawberry scented matte blush. It's a very smooth formula and it's less powdery than the Australis Get Cheeky blushes, and I think the pigmentation is also really nice. It's better than the Get Cheeky blushes. So I will highly recommend this one if you're close to my skin tone. This is a really nice corally, peachy, deep blush you can try. Next we are going to move into a more mid-range category blushes, and these are from Buxom Cosmetics. I was super excited when I got these blushes. They actually launched on Cult Beauty this year and I've been trying to get these blushes for a really long time. These are actually called Buxom Wanderlust blushes and they are primer infused blushes. I say these are mid-range because I think these are less than 25 Singapore dollars, maybe even 20 Singapore dollars if you get it from Cult Beauty. And considering the formula which is there in the blushes, it's more of a glowy, subtle glowy, healthy cheek sort of a blush. Considering the formula, I think it's quite nice. I think the price point is quite nice. It's not super expensive, although Buxom is sort of like expensive brand. So I have 2 shades in the Buxom blushes. I have the shade Goa, which is one of my favorites. It's a more deeper berry toned blush and it looks beautiful. It has a very subtle sheen and the glow is not going to look very overpowering on the cheeks. If you don't like something which will be too glowy on the cheeks, these are a perfect balance. They are pigmented, they blend really nicely and they give a subtle sheen on the cheeks. And the other one is the shade Mykonos. I always struggle to pronounce this word, Mykonos. I know this one looks a little light on the camera, but it works beautifully on my skin tone. It's a very natural, everyday looking peachy pink sort of a blush with a subtle sheen, so it just looks stunning. And this one will go with a lot of eye looks. Even with no makeup on, this one will look really pretty. By the way, just to let you guys know, these blushes have 3.6 grams of product, so you don't get a lot of product as with some other blushes, so that's why probably they are a little less expensive. The other one, the Australis one, you get 9 grams of product, so it's like almost triple of what you get over here in the Buxom one. And in the Nykaa one, just for information, you also get 9 grams of product. So as I said, In most of the other single blushes, you do get a lot of product, which is not there in the Buxom one. So just in case you want to consider that. Next, we are going to move into some high-end blushes. Alright guys, so for the high-end blushes, it's a party of glowy blushes right here. All of the high-end blushes which I've purchased are glowy blushes. Since this year, I was just into glowy blushes so much. You must have seen my highlighter collection, or probably it must be coming. I did not buy a lot of highlighters, just a few, like a couple of them which really worked out for me, because I had so many glowy blushes and I was just loving glowy blushes this year. The first one is the one which I picked up in January of this year or February. This is the Hourglass Vivid Flush. Yes, Vivid Flush blush. This is one of the ambient lighting blushes, and I love the ambient lighting blush formula. This also is very similar to the Buxom one. It gives a very subtle, smooth glow on the cheeks, and love the packaging, love the design, love the pattern and everything. But I did put this in my disappointing products list because I expected something else. I received something else. I expected a more deep corally reddish blush, but I received a pink, mauvey, light pink, sort of a glowy blush. So the promotion pictures were a little bit deceptive, but the product itself is very nice. It's a very pretty pinky, light pinky glowy blush which looks beautiful, but I wasn't really looking for a pink glowy blush. But I will still have it, I will still use it. I do still like it, but I don't think you can get this anymore, so there's just no point talking about this. So let's move on. The next blush which I purchased this year was the Mercier blush color infusion blushes. So I got this shade Grapefruit. I was looking for a peachy corally, yes, that's why I wanted this one to be. I was looking for a peachy corally glowy blush, and this is something quite close to what I wanted. This one also is a glowy blush. It gives a nice sheen on the cheeks, but it's not very overpowering. This one looks like a corally blush in the pan, but when you apply it on the cheeks, it does have sort of like a golden sheen to it, but the gold is not too pronounced. It still looks corally pink, but yes, there is some gold shift to it. I really love this blush. It's very pigmented, so you do have to be a little bit careful. It blends away very nicely though, and it's quite buildable as well, but you don't need a lot of this blush. Just a little amount is just good enough for the cheeks. I think out of all the blushes in the line, this is the one which I like the most, and this one works the best on my skin tone. So if you have used these color infusion blushes from Mercier and you have some other shade to recommend, then do let me know. Okay guys, moving on, we have my favorite blushes of this year. These are the CoverFX Monochromatic Blush Duos. I just love these blushes and they are just so worth the money. They are pretty expensive, but you do get two blushes in them. In here you get a matte side and a glowy side. So you technically get two blushes. One is a matte and one is sort of a highlighter kind of a product. So in that sense, I think it's a value for money product. If you want, you can just use the matte side, and if you want a more glowy look, you can use the highlighter side as well. So I love the concept. I love the packaging of these blushes. Look at the packaging. It's just so luxe and it has a nice weight to it. I love the pattern which is there on the highlighty glowy side. So the shade which I'm showing right now is the shade Spice Cinnamon, and that is what I purchased first, and recently I got this one as well. This is the shade Warm Honey, and I have been waiting to get this shade for such a long time. But let me show you Spice Cinnamon first. This is a really pretty color. This is also like a pink with a little bit of a reddish tinge, and the highlighter also is in the same category. It looks beautiful on my kind of skin tone. If you are close to my skin tone, I will highly recommend this shade. It looks quite deep in the pan, but on my skin tone this looks like a more corally pink, mauvey sort of a blush. I love this color, and the highlighter side is also, or the glowy side is also really nice. They are so smooth. It's like a smooth glow on the face. I love using both of them together, and just one of the shades at one time also works amazingly well. And the other shade which I have is the shade Warm Honey, and I have been trying to get this blush for such a long time, and finally I saw that day that it was in stock and I immediately ordered it. and this is how this one looks like. It's more of a peachy blush. It's a warm undertone blush. It's a more peachy, deep peach blush, I would say. And this also works really nicely on my skin tone, and I love the highlighter shade as well. This is also like a peachy, glowy sort of a blush. I will show you swatches, but I will definitely wear this blush in some video where you can see how it looks on my skin tone. If I have to compare both of these blush shades, this is how they look like side by side. The warm honey is definitely more peachier, and the spiced cinnamon is more pinkier, just to explain in very simple terms. And both of these will work really well on my kind of skin tone, especially both the glowy blushes. They will just look amazing. So this is a comparison of both the shades. Totally, this is I think one of the best purchases I made this year. Loving the formula so much. Very smooth, very blendable, and very long wearing on the face as well. So this is the CoverFX Monochromatic blush duos. You get 14.5 grams of product, so that's a lot of product which you get in this blush duo. And then I have one last blush which I tried this year. This is from the brand called Kaja Beauty, and these are called the Mochi Pop Bouncy Blendable Blush. So I wanted to try one cream blush this year. I did not really purchase any other cream blushes, so this was one which I saw, and I thought I haven't tried Kaja Beauty anything, so I just wanted to get something. So I got this cute little blush which is a very nice what is this? It's a mauvey pink sort of a blush, and the shade of it is called Atmosphere 02. You get 4.5 grams of product. If I remember correctly, it wasn't very expensive, but I could be totally wrong. I will have all the prices on the screen. It's a really pretty blush. It's a cream to powder finish formula. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. It's very natural, blends super easily. It works with brushes too, and you can also use it with your fingers. Just take a little bit and just apply on your face. Just on a no makeup day, just apply a little bit with your fingers and just blend it out. It blends super easily too. Very lightweight on the skin, and I love the color. The color is just so pretty. Love the packaging of this blush as well. Very cute packaging and very easy to work with. Really enjoyed this blush. The Kaja Beauty Mochi Pop Bouncy blush, I think. Bouncy blendable blush. Okay guys, so those were the blushes which I tried this year. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you liked it. I would love to know which are the blushes which you have tried this year. Please let us know in the comment section below. Other than that, if this video was helpful and you liked it, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching me for the first time, I really hope you'll consider subscribing. More of these videos are coming soon, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.